Good late evening from Southeast Asia. This will be episode, oh crap, I didn't look, 238. 238. You know, there are people in this world who are prepared. And then there's me. Episode 238 of the alienanalprobe.com. Alien, scary, disturbing, obnoxious podcast things. Okay. Now it's been silent outside for hours and hours and hours. And the instant that I start this podcast, we got the motorcycle racers. There was 2 or 3 episodes ago. We caught a really good motorcycle crash down there. It's on the tape. It's on one of the podcasts. I don't remember what number, but anyways, okay. All tapes are copyright 2023 by stockphotosworldwide.com. You can go there to get here. You can go to alienanalprobe.com to get here. You can go to theyclaim.com to get here. You can get here all kinds of different ways. Interesting thing, these go out to the RSS feeds like Spotify and Apple and all of, I don't even know how many, there's a million of them. They just automatically go out. We don't even do anything. But the RSS feeds only produce audio. They don't handle video at all. On our server, alienanalprobe.com. That's one of the domains on our server. Well, actually, we've got 3 or 4 servers. Anyway, as far as I know, that's the only place you can get the video versions of these. So anyway, if you like video, I don't know why you would, but oddly enough, curiously enough, strangely enough, bizarrely enough, the episodes with video outstrip the audios by, man, in some cases, let's see, 10, 20 to 1. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. I guess people, driving to work and they want to be distracted. I don't know what the hell. Okay, so everybody knows we've got a giant collection of alien reports, reports. A lot of them are just bullshit. Lots and lots of them are bullshit. And anyway, we go through them. And if they're bullshit, we delete them. And if they might be credible, we take a little pinch of sand and we drop it into a bucket. There's a picture of the bucket on alienanalprobe.com with the cat making his nightly contribution, which we take out. And if the bucket's ever full, then we believe in aliens, and we're at 90% right now. After all these years, after about 1,400 cases we've explored, we have about 8,000 cases to go. So we're doing okay. We have been slowing down. We're going to slow down a little bit producing these things. We have other things going on. They're still going to do them probably forever because we're not going to get through 8,000 cases in my lifetime or yours, probably. So it's possible. You live to be 110. We might make it. But anyway, so these have been coming out pretty regularly. They're going to come out not so regularly for a while. We'll see what happens. Just not enough hours in the day. Okay, to go through these reports, we spin the roulette wheel on the marble drops, and that's the one we start reading. Very many of these strike a chord within me when I read them. I've been around quite a bit, around the world, a couple of times. Anyway, I'm going to tell a little teeny tiny story before I read this one, and it's related to this one. I was in Arizona, down by Sedona one time. I was there a bunch of times, but the first time I was there, I was horse camping out in the gorgeous red sandstone cliffs and stuff. It's my God, it's a magical place. I'm really sad that it has been ruined by the woo-woo crowd. But anyway, you can still go there. You just don't have to. I was going to say you don't have to interact with them, but you do. If you want to go to 7-Eleven, you're going to interact with them. If you drive on the roads, you're going to interact with them. You're going to go camping, you're going to interact with them. Snowflake woo-woo crowd. Oh, my God. Anyway, I was horse camping out there. And about, I don't know, midnight, something like that, we heard a baby crying. It was a baby crying, it sounded like probably about 18 months, something like that. And this is desert, this is it's desert, I'm sorry. It's harsh, there's mountain lions and there's rattlesnakes about every square meter, and it's a rough place. Well, it can be. It doesn't have to be. I mean, there's copperhead snakes, there's bad shit there. Anyway, so we heard this baby, and we were all settled down, getting ready to go sleep. I heard this stupid baby crying. Wah, wah, wah. And it was really odd because we were not aware of anybody camping within, I don't know, probably a mile or two of us. And so we thought, what the hell is a baby doing out there? It was fairly common that, when you ride around that desert, you do run across people all the time. They're just out there, middle of nowhere, just mucking around. I don't know what they're doing. A lot of them are Indians, Native Americans. A lot of them are whites. A lot of them are woo-woo hippies. I don't know. They're just out there mucking around. Well, the weather's nice, and it's an easy place to walk, and it's really pretty, and it's fun, and, so I guess that's it. But anyway, we figured somebody had somehow gotten in there in that area where we were and set up a camp somewhere. Probably, it sounded like it was probably 200 yards, I would guess. And we listened to it for a while, thinking, geez, okay, it's time to shut that kid up. Come on, people. And we were thinking, well, maybe the parents are drunk, they passed out, and the kid wandered off, or they're drugged out, which is really, really common. Or I don't know, that aliens were probing them and they were preoccupied. I don't know, but the kid kept crying and crying and crying and crying and crying and crying, and it sounded like a pretty urgent cry. It wasn't just crying. It was like, hey, people, hey, I got a problem. I got a big shit problem here. I need some help right now. That's what it sounded like. It was loud and clear, crystal clear. It was silent out there, crystal clear. And anyway, after probably an hour of this, and then, some people said, well, you should have gone out looking sooner, well, whatever. After an hour or so, maybe more, maybe an hour and a half, I finally said, well, that's enough of that shit. And I got up, got dressed, saddled a horse, and took a couple of flashlights. And somebody went with me, and we went out trotting around the desert looking for this crying kid. And so we rode in the area where he was, where we heard him first. And it was only a couple hundred yards. I don't think more, 250 yards tops. And we were very careful, and he had shut up, of course. No, I'm sorry. No, he did not shut up. He was still wah. Jeez, screw up this story. And so we rode in that direction, and we got closer to that area, within probably 50 yards, and then he shut up. And then we thought, what the hell? Well, maybe the snake's got him. Or no, he'd be screaming if the snake, you don't know what the hell's going on. Maybe the coyote's got him, whatever. And so we kept riding. We had pinpointed where the crying was coming from pretty carefully as we're riding towards it. And so we rode to, pretty much where we thought that was coming from. And we rode all over the place there, probably spent a half hour. No tracks, no people, no camp, no nothing, no babies, not a goddamn freaking thing. What in the hell is this? And there's nothing left to do except we started just walking back to camp, And all of a sudden, we hear this stupid little kid again, probably 200 yards in a different direction. And we thought, oh, well, son of a bitch, during the time that he was quiet, he must have been running, but we could hear him clearly again, and we could tell exactly where it was coming from, or really, really close to where it was coming from. So we thought, well, shit, we're already saddled up, we're already out there, let's lope on over there and catch that little son of a bitch this time. And so we did. It was, I recall there was a little bit of moonlight. We could lope around, okay, and it, it's the Old West. I mean, you can lope around, in the night. And this crying kept up for a while until we got fairly close, and then it stopped. And we thought, oh Jesus, what kind of game is this? Maybe the kid hears the sound of the hooves, and it scares him, and he shuts up. So after that, we start just walking, slowly walking the horse. And the horse would snort, and we said, shut up, God damn it! We're trying to sneak up on this god baby. And we got to that spot, same as before. We couldn't find a trace, not a trace of any little Burgermeister at all, nothing. We rode around there for another half hour, to make really sure. Maybe he's dead, maybe he fell, maybe that was his last cries, and now he's unconscious or some damn thing, And there's just nothing there. In those days, there were no cell phones, and we didn't have radios, and it was going to be quite a little project to go in and find the sheriff and get a team out there, and go like that. So anyway, we start riding back to camp, and we get about halfway back to camp, and damned, the little sucker, the little bastard, he's doing that shit from back about where he was the first time, roughly in that area. So this time we just galloped, because we knew the country there. By that time, we just galloped to that spot. Nothing there. And we're getting pissed off. Getting just flat pissed off, because it's not making any sense. It's just, a little suckhead could not travel that fast. It just, he just couldn't do it. And I don't know how many times we went through that. I would guess 6 or 7 or 8 times. And it got along towards daylight, and we started thinking, well, we don't know. It's a ghost baby, or what? What do you think? What conclusion do you come to? There's no conclusion to come to. So we went back to the camp and went to bed. And next evening it started again. Except this time it started about 50 yards off to one side. And then we heard another one, a second one, about 50 yards off to one side, the other side. And they were coming from areas that we could see, because it was still light now, and there was no brush, no trees, no pines, no nothing we could see. And there weren't no baby there. There weren't no frickin' baby there. And finally, I don't know how we ever got educated, but it turns out that there is a bird down there that makes the exact, precise, crystal clear sound of a crying baby. And we chased that little son of a bitch around. Well, it was different birds, they were talking to each other. Okay, so that's my little story, and now we're going to start this report. This is, location is Cordoba, Argentina. Date is April 14th, 1939. Time is night. And I feel for this poor dumb bastard. It says, a man riding a horse in an isolated and dark area heard sounds like that of a crying baby. I don't know if Argentina has that same freaking bird. I think they should be murdered to extinction as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, it doesn't say, does he go he must have gone in the direction of the baby. I don't know. It says, suddenly before him, the ground appeared to open up. Nighttime, okay. And a short, bizarre figure emerged. A baby. Found the baby. They're bizarre? They're short? What the hell? No, it was a dwarf with long, pointy teeth, small ears, a large, round head, in a small childlike body. Terrified, the witness galloped away from the area. Oh, excuse me. If this was a commercial enterprise, that would be taken out in post, but this is anything but formal. For people who don't know, these started out years ago, originally just talking to family and friends and telling them, like bedtime stories, reading them stories and about aliens and giving my 2 cents worth on them. And then it just became more and more and more and more and more. And now it's a kind of a semi-formal thing. Now we get all kinds of people listening to them. But anyway, okay. The baby thing, I don't know. I guess he's trying to suggest that the crying baby was that little bastard gnome dwarf thing. I don't do Bigfoots. I don't do mermaids. I don't do chupacabras. All kinds of stuff I don't do. Dwarves and gnomes are among them. I don't know anything about them. I don't want to know anything about them for the time being. I get too much other stuff to research. But the problem is accounts of encounters with dwarves and gnomes and creepy shit, things like that, are really, really common. And I just dismiss them. I don't give any sand. I don't give any credibility to them at all. I just delete them. But they're way too common, and I cannot figure out why. I've got a really weird story about a little creepazoid thing, but I'm not going to tell it until I know you a lot better. It was a really weird thing. And it sort of made me think just a teensy tiny little bit more about dwarves and things like that. I'll tell it someday, maybe when I'm really, really drunk, Okay. There's no flying saucers here. There's nothing. There's no, I can't give it any sand of credibility at all. It's just a weird little story. But it only caught my attention because of the crying, stupid damn baby thing. Jesus. Okay, here's this is a little bit long truth, a couple of pages. We're going to try a thing. If I ever get the technical part of it straightened out, we're going to do a thing where we have an AI text to speech app will read the next report, and I'll just take the headphones off. I don't want to hear it. I want these to be cold reads. I don't want to be prepped on these at all. I want to go line by line by line. I don't want to have any overall feeling about a case before I dig into it. I'm just going to go one sentence, like that. Anyway, the listener needs to have an overview of what might be coming up, because I interrupt, 10,000 times more than I should. I interrupt the story with my stories. So anyway, we're trying to think of, well, I've already started the technical part of it. We want to have an AI voice read a particular report. Just read it through smoothly, nicely, no inflection, no jokes, no nothing. And then when they're done, I'll just put the headphones back on or something, or turn them back on or something, and then we'll go through it painfully, bit by bit. So that's what we're trying to set up. Anyway, here's Pental. I don't know. It's in Greece, for Christ's sake. Early May 1939 times 2300, 11 o'clock at night. Mr. Antonis Priftis was coming down the mountain. Oh, lost my place. Sorry. Taking his sheep back to the fold. Okay. Suddenly he saw a bright mushroom-shaped object hovering above some nearby trees. Okay, pretty classic report so far. The object had bright searchlights around its rim below and was illuminating the area. Okay, pretty classic report so far. Say, oh, no. I'm not gonna call bullshit just yet, but something pecks at my consciousness. Okay. We don't have to do that. I mean, we can. Let's say we got a helicopter. We're looking for a lost, goddamn baby in the Arizona desert. Okay, something like that. We got a helicopter. If we want to, we can turn on. In the old days, in a bad country, we used to call them night suns. They were on the Hueys and night sun. I think there was only one manufacturer of them at that time for the military, and now there's a lot of manufacturers of them, and they are so bright you can't even comprehend it. They are bright beyond daylight. I mean, you got to wear sunglasses and you turn those suckers on, and they take so much power from the helicopter engine. And the Hueys was a turbine. It took so much power even from the turbine that you might not be able to be flying around in hot weather with the full load and turn on the night sun, because it's going to drag the power down. I mean, oh my God, they were bright. Okay, so that's one side of the story. The other side of the story is now, well, even then, a little bit, kind of, sort of. But now, especially, we don't have to turn anything on at all except the night vision. And that's actually going to give you a better look than big old spotlight, big old floodlight. So they say the object had bright searchlights around its rim below and was illuminating the area. Okay, now wait a minute. They're 10 billion, bazillion, quadrillion years advanced from us, but they don't have night vision? Because this is 2300. This is 11 o'clock at night. They don't have night vision. We've read a lot of these reports where they said, yeah, the aliens came down and they got big lights and they scared everybody, and the sheep and the cats, they all ran, and it just now dawned on me. I'm really, really slow about some things sometimes. It just now dawned on me. Why would they be doing that? Why did they just turn on the night vision? I'm sure, they have something far more advanced than our crappy old night vision. They got to have something far better, vastly better. But yet they still turn on lights. That kind of bothers me. That's a fly in the ointment. I don't know what that means. Okay, the object had bright searchlights around its rim below and was illuminating the area. Okay, I don't know. Two strange creatures seemed to descend to the ground on one of the beams of the searchlights. Aren't we freaking stupid? They weren't searchlights. They're tractor beams. At least in this case, anyway. Lots of other cases they're not. But okay, that's what they're suggesting here, is they were tractor beams of some type. And that's so commonly reported. So commonly reported. Okay, the creatures were wearing, oh, Jesus God almighty. The creatures were wearing divers' suits. How many times we talked about this? Pretty much every episode. Usually they say they're silver or silvery or grayish. I'm getting a real headache. I'm developing a real complex about this. I did a string search in the database just a few episodes ago. And I think I searched for silvery suit. I think something pretty close to that. And just in our remaining 8,000, it came up with like 1,390 instances of that phrase. And I didn't search for other variations of that Um, I'm just at a loss. Why tight fitting? Why tight fitting? Why almost always silvery? Dang it. Okay. The witnesses said they look like sponge divers. Yeah, it's a wetsuit. It's a tight fitting wetsuit. Okay, two creatures walked toward his location and stopped about 3 meters away from him. Okay, that's polite. Sometimes they don't stop. They walk right up and they breathe in your face, supposedly, if aliens exist. Two creatures walked toward his location and stopped about 3 meters. That's about 10 feet. Okay, that's respectful. That's not violating your personal space like they do in Southeast Asia. God bless it. They did not talk to him, but the witness felt voices inside his head. Okay, well, I don't know about alien telepathy because I ain't never talked to an alien. But I know that telepathy among humans is absolutely, positively, stinking real, not woo-woo, not a gray area, not open to discussion, not open to interpretation. It is real. I think it happens a lot, but people don't recognize it for what it is. But every once in a while, you get cases where it's just crystal clear, and it's real. I've had it happen to me. I've never had anyone be able to tell me what I was thinking. Maybe they were embarrassed to tell me. But on a number of occasions, I have picked up crystal clear thoughts from other people that said specific, clear things, and I went and verified it, and that's exactly what they were thinking or what they were about to say. It's real. I'm sorry, folks. It's real. Now I don't know about aliens. I presume, aliens can do it better than we can. Okay, so they're telling him shit. The creatures. Oh, okay. God, this is a strange report because this is really a strange report because this has got so many aspects of so many other cases in my database. Started at 9,400 cases. Now, this is 1939. The stuff was not available to the public at all. Okay, they did not talk to him, but the witness felt voices inside his head. The creatures asked, here's the part that just made me stop a second ago. The creatures asked repeatedly him, this is how they wrote it. The creatures asked repeatedly him to go with them, but the witness refused. All the reports, well, no, not all. Almost all the reports that we get are ones where the witness refused. Because if they said, sure, man, let's go, they ain't making any more reports. There is only a very small handful, a BB handful of cases, of semi-believable cases of people saying, yeah, sure, man, let's go. And they go and they mess around somewhere for some period of time, and then they come back and they're okay, and, everything's fine. Very few of those reports that sound even remotely credible. Some of them sound really, really good. There are quite a few cases that are just obviously, clearly just crackpots saying, yeah, man, I went to Venus for 2 years. Oh, God, I lived in a condo. Fucking shit. Okay, he refused. The usual reason that people give when they refuse is, oh, man, I got a wife, I got kids, oh, God, I got to support them. I would just say, no, I got this cat, I got this cat. What's he going to do? What's he going to fucking do? And the weird thing is, pretty often, the aliens supposedly are really, really insistent, to the point of, even in some cases, threatening people if they don't willingly go. It almost seems like they want the humans to go really, really badly for some reason. Maybe they're selling them on Zeta Reticuli eBay. I don't know what the hell they're doing with them. Maybe making a big weekend soup. I don't know. But it seems like a lot of aliens really, really, really want the humans to go with them, but they cannot force them to go. Maybe some can force them to go, probably. Maybe, but clearly some of them will try every kind of tactic and intimidation to get the people to, of their own free will, say, yes, I'll go. It's like, you got to say that. If you don't say that, then, you're safe. Maybe. Huh. Asked repeatedly him to go with them, but the witness refused. Okay. They also told him that they had come many times in the same spot and that they would come back again, just in case you change your mind, Commonly, the aliens will tell them, supposedly, that, you come with us and, oh man, life's going to be cool. It's going to be good. We got, we got all kinds of cool stuff. You're just going to love it, and I would want to be pinning them down, reading the fine print of the contract, seeing the video and the travel brochures and shit like that. But in only a very, very, very few cases have the aliens reportedly told them what it's going to be like. And amazingly, the people don't often ask them what it's going to be like. But there was one case, and I talk about it sometimes, where there was a group of either 7 or 9, I can't remember, and they all came across a flying saucer. I can't remember where. I was thinking South America, but I'm not sure. They're walking around out for a Sunday afternoon walk or something. It doesn't matter. And they came upon a flying saucer, and there were aliens. And the aliens talked to this group, and they said, hey, you want to come with us? You can live on our planet. And as I recall, 3 of them, right on the spot, they just said, yep, okay, man, we're on board. Where do we go? You want us to sign something? Let's go. And the rest of them, I can't remember the number. The rest of them, anyways, 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever, said, nope, nope, 9, yet, nope, ain't going, can't make me. Well, you probably can, but I hope you don't, And anyway, so they said they saw the 3, or could have been 4, I think it was only 3, and they got on board. They just walked right on in, and then they're gone. And the rest of them went home, told everybody what happened, and everybody's like, oh, fuck, you killed them, didn't you? You fucking killed them. They're out there in that fucking jungle someplace. Come on, Jesus Christ, let's go look for them. And they never found them, and they never came home. So we don't know. The only thing we've got is the word of the 3 or 4 or whatever who said, yeah, man, the aliens took them, but that's not really a concrete fact. The only fact is that those people never came home. Anyway, let's see. They said they would come to the same spot again and again, and, we'll wait for you, like that. Okay, after that, they went back to the flying mushroom in the same manner. What manner? Oh, up the beams, okay. Yeah, okay, so they got sucked on up the beams, I guess, something like that. The object's light seemed to dim. God, that's reported. That's reported too many times. What's going on with this shit? The object's light dimmed. You get the impression that when they turn on the power, it takes so much power that it causes the lights to dim, Kind of like what happens when I start up my stereo, Even the neighbors, they don't hear it, but they bitch about their lights going dim. Okay, the object's light seemed dim, and it started gaining height. After a while, the object disappeared with great speed, leaving behind it a trail of bright orange light. We've talked about this also. It's really, really commonly reported that one of these things will lift up off the ground kind of slowly, and it'll go up to 100, 200 feet and just sit there for maybe only a few seconds, but maybe a couple of minutes. And then all of a sudden, kapoosh, and they're gone. They're gone. And I've speculated as to why they might be doing that, and I'm pretty sure I'm correct. In 5 or 10 or 20 or 50 years, we'll know if I'm correct or not. But here they are in this one, in this report from 1939. Here they are reporting this again, when this was anything but common knowledge. It wasn't even knowable by the masses. And especially, this is freaking Greece, Attica, Greece. 1939, they didn't know diddly. They didn't know. Okay, so I could go through and count all the things in here, all the little items in here that have been reported again and again and again and again and again ad nauseum. I'm not going to count them all, but there's like 6 or 7 things in here at least that people of that time and from that region simply did not know. And I don't believe they could even get a hold of that data. So at the end of these, what we do, we try to figure out if there's any credibility or not. If we don't, then we delete them. And I ain't gonna delete this one. I like it quite a lot. I'm gonna give them, man. These are just dead on with so many aspects. I'm gonna give him. Let's see, we got that bucket. We're at 90% full. I'm gonna give him 2 big heaping tablespoons of sand. Okay, normally we give a grain or 2 or 3. No, this turkey gets 2 heaping tablespoons. Because I have a hunch, possibly, I don't say anything for sure. Maybe someday I'll get probed and then I'll be able to say, yep, I got probed for sure. But until then, I don't. There's no one case that's going to convince me that aliens are real. There's got to be, it's the old thing, ridiculous claims require ridiculous amounts of proof. So, 2 tablespoons. Yeah, that's a really nice report. Really nice report. I wonder, 1939, I was going to say maybe you could research more on it, but probably not. Not from Greece, 1939. Maybe, some of these ufologists, they just go just ludicrously in depth on every report they can get a hold of. I do not. I go through them generally. I look for the overview. Maybe somebody, in the RSS feeds where these will appear, they do an automatic transcription, so you can go through and actually read everything that was read here if you're interested in doing more research. So, okay, we're 10 minutes over our time, and that'd be enough. Okay, so thank you very much, and good evening, and good night.